up to the boys. Fox and Shane, set your minds free, no locks and chains. Do what you love, roll the dice. 50-50, we cold as ice. One thing cold, but a penny turn red. Can't let that go in my head, war gaming.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Hobby Homies. We are your weekly tabletop podcast. I am Shane.
How you going? Oh, sorry.
We spent the last hour rehearsing this.
Let's start again. Take it from the top. No, Churchy said no more takes. That's fine.
11 takes is too many.
Ohayou gozaimasu.
I'm Shane. This is Fox.
Hey.
And of course, Churchy.
Howdy.
There he is. Today is Season 4, Episode 3. We are continuing and maybe wrapping up our journey into Test of Honor.
Maybe. We are wrapping up.
Are we?
Well, maybe.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Confirmed.
Test of Honor, it was our first ever Journey Into, so... Well, let's talk a little bit about Journey Into's as a what do you call that, an idea, a concept?
Yes.
Our
Very interesting concept, wasn't it?
Not really, no.
I mean, yeah.
yeah, absolutely, dude.
Like, noting our progress through getting into a system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. When we first percolated the idea... Sorry, everyone. This is my agent telling me I'm worth more than you can afford me.
You've got no auditions.
Yeah, no,
and
zero.
You've been rejected.
No
Again.
auditions. Oh, dang it, all my auditions. I was really waiting on that one. So no big breaks for me. So I'll be doing this podcast for the indefinite future. We actually started the podcast and stuck to the main games. And then we discovered that we didn't have to.
No, there are other games out there.
Yeah, we learned that.
Yeah.
And so we invented this series, I suppose, to chronicle our journey into these newer games. That it would start off with us just learning about something, being like, that's a game.
Yeah.
We're going to get into it from the ground floor of knowing nothing about it.
Yep.
Except maybe the theme. And then, just episode by episode, month by month, year by year, chronicle our journey through this game, buying it, playing games, etc. And then ultimately concluding, like we will now, with an overall review of the game itself and whether or not it's something that's going to be benched forever. Like, yeah, that was fun, that was great.
Yep.
Or if it's something that we can see being part of our main rotation.
Yeah, regular sort of rotation. Yeah, absolutely. So, Journey Into Test of Honor.
Yes.
Very first Journey Into, man.
Yeah.
It's almost like... It's a bit bittersweet, you know. Like this is the end of, not the end of the road for Test of Honor, but the end of the road for Journey Into Test of Honor. Correct. You know, this is going to be the 5th episode in that little series.
Yeah.
Our first episode's all the way back in Season 1.
Wow.
Like episode 17, I think, was the very first one.
So that's really early on.
Yeah.
17 episodes deep. What is that? We did 4 a month. So 3 months in.
3 months in, and we've already had enough of 40K.
Yeah. That says all it needs to say, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's crazy. If you guys want to go back and listen, like...
Not worth.
We don't recommend it. No matter how good your headphones or speakers are, sounds awful.
Yeah. But you know what? Let's not undersell ourselves.
Yeah.
People listened to that episode
Yep.
and many others during that time where it was in Discord.
Yeah.
To us, sounds like garbage.
Yep.
And a lot of those same people are with us now, watching, listening.
Absolutely.
Supporting us through Patreon and stuff.
Close to 2 years later.
Wow.
Like, it's just insane.
So thank you for sticking by us for through those times.
Yep.
It's because of you that we can be here.
Yeah.
So thank you.
I saw you glance at the lamp.
Yeah, I wasn't going to directly say thanks for the lamp because they know.
The lamp enough.
They know.
Oh, man. Like, so our first episode of Journey Into Test of Honor, we hadn't even had the miniatures. Like, we'd placed the order.
Yes.
They weren't in our hands.
Correct.
We were just it was like a pipe dream almost. It was like, this game is going to be sick.
Yeah.
You know, we're loving the vibe. It's so different to everything we've ever seen.
It really was. And it couldn't have been more niche. Like, I think that's one of the things that was so exciting. We'd never heard about it. We'd never seen it. It was literally one guy running it. So, I mean, that first ever episode we did was mostly just talking about Grafenau Games, the company, or the man that is Graham Davey.
Yeah.
Because that's all we knew about it. Like, we had a loose idea of the theme, but that was it.
Yep.
We'd ordered a stack of models, more than we needed.
Man. Like, it was a box. And you can see that in our unboxing video.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, man.
Mate, was that our first ever actual video?
I think so.
So
yeah.
It's through this series that a lot of our firsts have come. Our first battle report, etc., etc. So I see you tactically put your lid on your beer so you knew which is which.
That's it, dude.
For those playing along,
We're not playing Russian roulette.
yeah, with COVID. Which one's got Omicron in here?
Could be both.
Who knows? Could be both.
Yeah. Yes. We got the beer cam too.
Yeah.
I've gone to it a few times.
Churchy loves it.
Dumb times too. Because I'm talking about something, it's just got Carlton Dry spinning.
For those listening, I know you probably hate it because you probably can't afford to sit down and watch our videos, and fair enough. It's a podcast. You're not supposed to.
No.
But we've got a useless rotating...
Hey, I have plenty of uses for that.
Yeah.
This was not intended. This is your idea.
What is highly, highly entertaining.
What is this? What is this called? It's a rotating...
It's a rotating display spinner.
You know those things you put your models on to spin them around, whatever. It's one of those, but we've put our beers on it.
Yep.
And that's basically the height of this podcast.
Yeah. Who knows if you would like to sponsor us like Carlton Dry have. Your product could be seen here.
That's right.
I've never been more enthralled. Like
we've never been so interesting.
That rotation. Oh.
So, our first episode, we talked about Great for Now games, and we were
we
just waiting for our miniatures.
We were sitting, I think both of us were sitting at our front doorsteps, even though it was going to your work.
You were sitting at my front doorstep.
Maybe. Waiting. And then we got that box of goodness and cracked it open. I think we sprayed it with Glen 20 because we still weren't sure about COVID at the time.
Yeah, correct. Yep. It did take a... No, it was pretty quick, I remember, actually getting quick. Over here.
It really was. And open that, and there's pulling out like fistfuls of fucking metal models, man. Like, Like, it was just...
I remember that was a shock to us too.
Yeah.
We didn't know they were going to be metal.
I'm pretty sure I hadn't seen an unpainted metal mod before.
Yeah.
Like, I'd seen some painted.
That's fair.
And held them, and they were heavy, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm pulling out these, like, just bare, unassembled metal miniatures.
Naked minis.
And I'm just like, what is this?
Yeah.
Why are they silver?
Yeah. Why are you like this? Why are you metal? Why are you metal? Yeah. So we did that. We recorded our unboxing.
Yep.
Then we did another episode a month after our first.
It was very quickly.
Yeah, imagine
in the
that.
grand scheme
We
of
must have
things.
been motivated or something.
Yeah, I reckon because we obviously got our order and then played a game with them.
Yeah. Well, I think at that stage, we did an unboxing and recorded an episode that same day.
Probably.
So we were just reviewing the contents of it. We were talking about how we'd never seen metal or hadn't really used it before.
Yeah.
I think maybe we'd actually gone away, assembled and painted one or two, and we were talking about that, and that was a new journey for us, which it's funny to look back now because we're just like metal models. That's part of life.
Yeah.
Infinity or whatever. So many metal models we got now.
Yeah, bloody oath.
But back then we were just like, oh, I didn't know this was still a thing.
Yeah, yeah.
What
is this, like 1985?
Yeah, felt like it.
Yeah. But you know what? Those metal models, they were hand sculpted.
Some of them, and we
Most
talked
of
about
them,
that.
yeah.
We talked about the different. There was 2 suppliers that we had.
Footsore.
Correct.
Footsore miniatures.
And they were all hand sculpted.
Yeah, and the Great for Now, which were computer designed.
Yes.
But still metal.
Yeah, so you had... Because initially we were like, oh, these metal ones from Footsore don't look as good.
Yeah, they're like, oh, the detail's crap.
Yeah,
like, what's going on?
And then we learned they were hand sculpted by someone.
Makes you appreciate them more.
It does. Yeah, it does. And then the CAD ones were just beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely beautiful.
They're the Great for Now miniatures.
Yeah. And if you go on the website, even to this day, they still have the Footsore ones, and it's got the icon for the Footsore. So if you're buying and you want quality, like beautiful, crisp metal models, buy the Great for Now games ones.
Yep.
But if you don't mind so much, if you find the charm out of those older ones that were hand sculpted, hit the Footsore ones up as well.
They're not, in the grand scheme of things, they're not that bad.
No, I've got one here, just behind you.
And I have 3 also.
And they look good.
Yep.
Oh, are those Footsore as well?
Yeah,
the 3 that you have. Yeah, that's cool.
Tepo.
Once you paint them up and stuff, put them on the table, they'll look the same.
Painted.
Oh, I couldn't tell. No, they look good, dude. I mean, in general.
Yeah.
If only you had some kind of a spinning device that you could put some models on.
That wasn't taken up by beers.
That's a real
We
shame.
need to get another one.
Oh, wait. Those aren't models.
Oh, which one's mine, dude? Okay, cool. So then we did our third episode 3 months later.
Yeah, it was a bit of a track. Wasn't
Yeah.
it?
And then we basically, that whole episode was 30 minutes of us apologizing for not having done anything sooner. The problem with Journey Intos is we need to be able to play games together.
Yeah, and for like a massive, well, for basically the whole of 2021, we couldn't play games together.
Exactly.
I reckon we played maybe 3 games in that whole year.
Yeah. Yep. That's
Constant
fair.
lockdowns, isolating, all that crap.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
We got through that. Well, so all 4 of our, it's funny, all 4 of our Journey Intos on Test of Honor came in 2020.
Yeah.
We didn't speak of, well, we spoke about it constantly
Oh,
in
of
front of the game.
course. Yeah.
But anyways, you
Yep.
can go listen to all of those if you want.
Yep.
There's
There's a playlist on YouTube, which you can see a battle report as well, and our unboxing.
Yeah.
6 videos. By the time you're watching this, 7.
Yeah.
So check that out. Man,
Yeah.
it's been a journey.
It has been a journey. And it's such an iconic one for the podcast. I think Journey Into is such a integral part of our overall journey as podcasters and hobbyists and whatever.
Absolutely, because not only have we've grown, you know, by like branching out to these different games. I saw you.
Yeah, I can't see it on the other side of my microphone, so I just had to lucky dip it. Hey.
Yeah, you know, and like, you know, we've stepped away from our, what would you'd say, our comfort zone.
For sure.
You know, of something that we knew, you know, I mean, we've never been that big around the rules or we know everything, but like, we were really comfortable with 40Ks, especially.
Yep.
To like stepping out to different manufacturers, different systems.
Yep. Different mediums.
Yeah.
Like metal.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what we thought would be cool, a good summary and a good synopsis and a good way to wrap this up, is to talk about what we found good about Test of Honor in general. What we found bad, if we're going to be objective.
Oh, of course.
We've got to pass our knowledge on, because you might be like, all right, well, it sounds awesome, but there's got to be something wrong. And if we never talk about it, you'll buy the minis and
then resent us for it.
Well, I think you'll be happy. But yes, you could.
Yeah.
So, and then we'll give it our little individual, we'll talk about our favorite things about it.
Yep.
Maybe even give it a rating out of 10.
Yep.
As a game for us as individuals. Again, this is all just our opinions.
Absolutely.
This isn't the Bible on Test of Honor, although it's pretty fucking close.
Yeah.
This is the best you're going to get. I'm going to be honest. Nah.
So says the good book.
Yeah. And on the 7th day, he created Test of Honor, and it was good.
He, as in Graham Davey, of course.
Exactly. Yeah. What do you think I was talking about? I'm just reading from the Wikipedia.
Some other dude.
Yeah. Graham Davies Wikipedia. So, the good. Let's start with the good.
Okay.
We should start with the bad. Now, let's start with the good.
No. The good.
Talk to me about the good.
The theme.
Yeah?
It's an incredible theme, you know. It's, to me, like, I love history. Japanese history, I know zilch about, right?
Yeah,
you know. Like, prior to, like, the 1990s, I didn't even know Japan existed.
Yeah, well, I don't think it did.
Of course. With Pokemon came Japan.
They came out of they rode Godzilla's back out of the ocean onto the mainland.
Yeah.
And became the Tau, the tech giant.
Of course. The theme, it's a historical war game, but unlike most historicals, you're not stuck, pigeonholed with like a particular scheme, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're playing a Napoleonic and you're playing as the English, like you're painting like redcoats, and the same with like Civil War and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Like you're painting that particular thing. If you've got something wrong, someone will be like, well, in that year, they actually didn't wear that color like clothes, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck. But like, this is a historic, so you're painting clans, but you can paint as many as you like or your own.
Yeah.
You're not limited to, you know, not being able to create your own.
Yeah. I remember when that was something we first found super appealing. Well, especially myself, when I discovered this game, that's my biggest deterrent about historicals.
Yep.
Is it immediately puts up a barrier between you and the game if you know nothing about the period.
Yeah.
You know? Or the era that it happened in, or even just the finer points. Like I remember I printed a tank once, and I was like, here's a German tank, or here's a whatever.
Yeah.
And I just printed it, and I think it was you or MJ were like, well, it's got a Spanish gun on it, so it was probably a...
That would have been MJ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. Like, I mean, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
And I didn't care, because it's not like I was printing it for a game or anything.
No.
But I was just like, that's the kind of stuff that those people know.
Yeah. Yeah.
That it feels like a barrier. And like, you know, most war gamers aren't going to be like, oh, you can't use that.
Nah.
That's a Spanish tank.
Yeah.
You know, I know MJ wouldn't, but the fact that you as a hobbyist are getting it wrong and you've just painted up this thing that doesn't technically, so that's always a barrier. But for Test of Honor, even Graham himself said it's more of a Hollywood thematical narrative kind of take on the era. Like it's more about these samurai or your main champions being these unstoppable killing machines that can just cut down foot soldier after foot soldier.
Entire enemy warbands.
As opposed to just, you know, just copying a random arrow from your teammate and dying in the confusion of war, you know?
Coming down with gangrene, dying 2 weeks later.
Tripping over and getting a concussion and missing the battle. Yeah. So that was super appealing because, yes, it's as historical as you want it to be, but it's also as free-flowing and open as you want it to be. Yeah. It's
a very good take on that historical sort of, you know, war game without pigeonholing too much.
Yeah. I also like the theme itself being from that sort of era, but also, you know, Japan, old feudal Japan lends itself to these incredible, beautiful scenes and these beautiful tables, like that we built up a bunch of terrain, as you can see in the battle report. And
well, Foggy has.
That was all my terrain.
Oh, it was yours?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I borrowed a building from him, but the mat was from Foggy.
Yeah.
Although we will be throwing some of Foggy terrain into future battle reports if we do them.
Absolutely.
No promises.
But hey,
it's always guaranteed.
On our own.
Yeah, exactly. So, but just like, it is beautiful that era of long grass, sweeping plains, villages,
cherry blossoms, rice paddies.
Oh man,
yeah.
So when you
can
put a table,
romanticize it as much as you want, though.
Yeah.
You can it's really limitless to an extent.
And on the Test of Honor Facebook page or one of the fan pages for it, some people go super historical. Like there's a particular way that old Japanese towns were built.
Yep.
And some people go, well, you know, this is where I'm going to put the main road, so how would I organize the houses in such a way that it's historically accurate?
Yeah.
So for people that love that, you can take that aspect of it too.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And look, obviously it's true for all war games. Mm-hmm. You could do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Because it's your game.
That's right. Yeah.
So you could buy a World War II game and make it whatever you want, right?
Yep.
You can paint red coats and blue coats, and now it's alternate history. Sure.
Yeah.
But you also, I don't know, there's always this appeal to playing the game as it was designed.
I just imagine, like, redcoats storming the beach at Normandy.
It's alternate history, dude. I do whatever the fuck I want.
Like with flintlock rifles and shit. They're just shooting, they're like, oh, hang on, they're like pouring all the black powder in there.
And like LeBron James jerseys.
Cleaning the barrel.
It's alternate history, dude.
Sure.
Katanas. Yeah, man. You know me, I'll put 40k, LeBron anything. I'll put 40k trenches in a World War II table. Remember, Churchy, I printed up some 40k trenches. I was like, how dope are these, Shane? We could use them for like World War II games. Shane was just like, well, I mean, trench warfare.
Kind of ended by then.
I was like, but did they still use them at all? Like, we'll find a spot where they used them still, and it's got like the Imperium of Man, like the Aquillas on them. I'm like, that makes sense. It's kind of German. So he didn't talk to me for a week after that, but it was worth it.
Was it though?
So the theme is good.
The theme is good. Yes.
You know what else is good?
What?
A nice cold Carlton Dry on a... Hey, put yours back on the fucking spinning thing, dude. It's truth. They're not going to pay us the $12 if we
They're not
take
paying
them
us
off.
anything.
Oh, well, get it back off then. I love... One of the most surprising things about the game, I think, was how concise, clean, fast, easy the rules were.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely.
We just like cover to cover, you read it in a sitting. You know, I think it's a 72-page rule book. It's got some stuff in it.
Oh, yeah.
But it all just made sense. It flows well. I never felt like, you know, sometimes you get so many rules that you're like, oh, but how do they interact together?
Yeah, what do they clash? You know, how do they work?
Yeah.
But you know, you could play this game with the cheat sheet.
Yeah, legitimately.
What was it called? The quick reference or something like that?
The reference. Did you take it down?
It's been down for like a month.
Just down here?
It was.
No, that's something else.
Probably is.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you know, like you with that's in the rule book, of course.
Yeah.
you can play a game like we did, where we just picked it up and be like, oh yeah, okay, bit of a refresher. You know, this is how that works, and yeah, like you don't need the thick. Well, I mean, it's a decent book. You know.
Yeah, it is a decent book. Yeah. But yeah, I think it just nails because there always is that trade-off, right? The more complex you get, sure, the more immersive you get.
Yeah.
And that's great. People froth that. That's the appeal of games like 40K or Infinity.
Yeah.
But also, then the length of the game stretches on.
Absolutely.
The rules bloat gets bigger.
Yeah.
You know, the harder it is to pick up after a long break. All those things.
And like when you don't know the rules, it just makes your games go for hours and hours, because every turn you're checking.
Yeah.
Every phase of every turn you're checking.
Yeah.
You know, where with this it was like, okay, so we alternate activate, we roll dice.
Yeah.
We get 3 swords.
Yep.
It's good. Yeah.
3 swords good. 5 cross bad. more cross than sword bad also. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we go, okay, hang on, what's going on here? And then we'll go to the rules and check it. You know, or something like, okay, I got a crit with my katana.
Yeah.
That's a deep cut. What does that do?
Sure.
And then like that's the little things like that. Or it's like, was it a crit on your dodge or a crit on your attack?
Yeah.
Then you go, okay, you consult this reference. But like for the most part, man, we're drawing tokens, we're rolling dice, we're moving models and taking them away, and that's the game. That's the fun part.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you get straight into the fun part. You're right.
You do. Yeah. Straight up.
And that's the good thing is, you know, if you take a month's break from this game, yes, you're still flicking to the rules, but it's to confirm your rules, not to check them.
Yeah, you're like,
You're not
I'm pretty sure it's that.
Yeah.
And like, we did that heaps, and we're like, we were right, like nearly every time where we ummed and ahed.
Yeah.
You know, and like, because it's just, you just remember it because it's so simple but you know, like at the same time, there's so much still there's
strategy.
Spit it out. There's still so much to it.
Yeah.
Strategy, of course.
Yeah.
You know,
it's one of those easy to learn, hard to master games.
Absolutely.
Because the core element, the most difficult part of the game is positioning.
Yeah.
And you know that you can never be perfect at that.
Nah.
Because your opponent's also there trying to do the positioning. Because I think the best element it adds in the rules is that you have to charge or shoot the closest enemy unit.
Yeah.
Now, you can try to shoot someone further away with a wits test.
Test of wits, yep.
Which is fine. You probably get it.
Yeah.
But your opponent can then control what you're doing with their positioning.
Yeah.
At least they can force you to potentially fail that test of wits.
Yep.
Throw a crappy Ashigaru spearman right up the front in front of their, you know, they can screen out their more important troops.
Yep.
So you'll try and shoot it, but you might fail, and therefore, And the whole force your opponent to spend an action to save themselves.
Yeah, to dodge, you have to.
Yeah.
There's no choice.
No.
And if you can't do it, you can't do it.
You can't do it.
Like,
you just take the
are
hit.
just taking the hit.
So
because it's a great way to emulate that part of combat. Like, there's only so much that you can do in the space of what is scaled down to a few moments.
Exactly.
You know, like a whole turn is minutes.
Yeah.
Less than that. Right?
Yeah.
Like, of actual combat. Like, if you were to IRL it, right?
Yeah.
You know, like...
You could argue it's 10 seconds.
Yeah,
A whole turn is
absolutely.
just a 10-second...
Because it could be, you know, like if you, over the time you've done 3 attacks as your you know, your samurai or your hero,
Yep.
that's just 3 sort of chop, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's...
And for your dude, it's running forward and shooting. That takes, you know, no time at all. So, it is awesome. There's those different elements, those different mechanics that are simple.
Yep.
But they're the ones that add the value to the rules.
Yeah.
So it's not just like, it's not a boring game. It's not the same game every time.
Nah.
And I think the way the terrain works and the rules they have for that makes it awesome.
Yep.
Then they released the expansion.
The Sengoku expansion.
Exactly,
Yeah.
which just added 20 missions.
Yep.
So if you were getting bored with the original 6 or whatever, they've just added 20, and then they've added these proficiencies and allies into it as well.
Yep.
So just, again, not too much,
Yep.
but just enough to tweak. Like, now you can do a bit of deck building.
But you can pick and choose as you like. You know, you don't have to... I mean, the rules for the Sengoku campaigns state you have to have allies. You don't have to.
No,
right?
in fact, we played a Sengoku rule, didn't we?
Yeah, it was our 2 leaders had met for like a tea party.
Yeah. And then it went bad or whatever.
It went real bad.
Someone insulted the tea or something, or the dude's hat. Yeah, I don't know. That was fun, man.
It was fun.
I rewatched it actually, and I was like, damn, that could have gone either way so many different times.
Yeah.
I was like, that was cool. But that also speaks to how concise and clean the rules are, because we hadn't played in a minute.
Yeah.
Before doing that
and
battle
we were
report.
Like, let's film a battle report.
And it was basically one take.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, we just cut it up into, you know, what you saw. It wasn't us like going off and referencing a rule and then cutting it and then coming back.
No.
That was just all on the fly because the rules are so.
We had a sheet pinned to the wall there.
You can see me many times just like pointing up onto the. I was like, what is that moron doing?
Off screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like we've barely even touched the whole campaign rule side of things.
Yet.
Yeah, that's right.
Coming to you in a cinema near you.
Q2 2022.
2023.
Probably sooner.
Who knows? We'll see. We'll start. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens, but it's happening.
It's happening. Oh man.
So what are we talking about? We're talking about the good stuff about Test of Honor.
So we've talked about the theme
and
the rules. Right
the
now,
big two.
The big two. Yeah.
Yep.
We've already sort of touched on it a little bit, but the models, man.
Oh man.
Especially the Grey for Now models, they're stunning. Like the leader that I use in the battle report, the guy on the horse.
Yeah.
It's a
so beautiful
model. It is.
I remember when we did our first episode, we were talking about Test of Honor and the models.
Yeah.
And Churchy didn't know we were doing a Test of Honor. He didn't know what Test of Honor was.
Yeah.
It was like 10 minutes into the episode, he was like, sorry guys, I was just like on their website. It's like, these are so beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think I sent you photos like maybe a few months after of like one of the scenes, and you were just like, this fucking game, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I love the look of all the Test of Honor stuff, like all the models and terrain and that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what ended up making me buy some. I haven't like assembled them or anything yet. And
No need.
Sitting in their little bags, but
you get
one
some,
day.
dude.
As if we've got to have a 3-way.
We can do that after the podcast.
Yeah, 3-way Test of Honor battle report.
Oh. That too.
Yeah, sure. If there's time. See how the beers go. We've got enough models. We can lend Churchy some.
Yeah.
And maybe then he'll paint his.
Maybe.
He'll paint his before you paint yours.
I'll get there eventually.
Yeah. You've painted 3. You've painted 3.
I painted 3.
Well done.
Thank you.
Good job on your silence, but that's not what we're here.
Yes.
The models are beautiful.
Yeah.
And we mentioned on the one of the episodes actually how it seems like when Graham launched Test of Honor, 2nd edition.
Yeah.
Because previously it was owned by Warlord Games. Go check out our episodes if you want to suss all that stuff out. Mostly episode 1 we talk about all that crap.
Yeah.
Stuff. It's not crap. It's the history of the game. It's important.
Absolutely.
But, you know, he released the 2nd edition and needed models to play with. So he used a lot of Footsore one, but he's slowly obviously been just expanding his own range.
Yeah.
Now, there's so many beautiful Grey for Now official ones. They're just so clean.
Oh, they
the sculpts are beautiful.
They are. Like, the detail is just, it's incredible for metal models.
Yeah,
really.
and for some, like, he has CAD designed a lot of the new stuff himself.
Yeah.
He picked it up and learned it, and you wouldn't know the difference between those ones versus the ones that I think someone else professionally did for him at the start.
Yeah.
So, incredible. And only going to get better, which is amazing.
The range is going to get better, and man, and like with those models also comes the terrain. You know, like what you can do. Like, there's already some brilliant stuff out there available now, like Sarissa Precision from the UK. I've got a bunch of their stuff. You've got some of their stuff too, I'm pretty sure.
I've got foreground stuff, I believe it's called.
Foregrounds.
It's all pre-painted.
Oh, okay.
So you just glue it together, and that's what all my terrain and all the terrain you saw in the battle report.
Right, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, pre-painted, sign me up.
Yeah, yeah. Bloody oath.
Although that kind of terrain is just, it does lend itself to an easy paint job.
Yeah.
You know, airbrush a bit of red on and...
Yeah. Being MZF, you can nearly do it on the sprue.
Yeah, you could.
Sheet.
Sheet. Yeah.
Panel, whatever you call it.
I don't know, man.
You nearly
the
could
wood
paint it
sprue.
like that. Yeah.
The sprud.
The sprue.
Everyone knows it's called the sprud. MDF sprue is called sprud.
Okay.
That is law now.
That is, lock it in.
We mentioned Graham.
Yes.
And we both agreed, that's a good part of this. Part of Test of Honor is that it's an indie developer.
Yep.
Because, I mean, some people would argue that's a bad because maybe there's not as much support or
Smaller
whatever.
range, stuff like that.
Exactly.
But it's a person that has a passion for it, and it's not in it just to make bank. You know, like, sure, like, obviously that's a driving force because man's got to eat, right?
Yeah.
You know, so obviously he wants to profit from this venture.
Yeah.
But, like, I honestly think first edition Test of Honor was all from the heart.
Yeah.
And second, I'm sure second was too, but he's like, okay, let's dial this up a little bit.
Well, second is his baby. Like, before that, he was working for a company, Warlord Games.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And so, the
right.
rules would have been from Heart. And he
Yeah.
worked with Andy Hobday, was it?
Yeah, Andy Hobday, that's right, yep.
And but this one's his, you know, that's his baby.
Yep.
So and it just oozes love, like the way the rules are written, oozes,
It's just
love ooze. It's just covered in his love ooze.
oozes and
You're on another planet right now.
I don't even
a
want
slime planet.
I'll tell you later.
Tell me now. This is Hobby Homies After Dark. Or were you wearing a Beers and Banter tee? Let's do it. No, okay. Yeah, we do love that it's by great. Like it also means when you go to his website and you buy those models, you're supporting directly the game.
Yeah.
You know, you're not paying some super inflated price for advertising or a brick and mortar store, which is not bad. Obviously, we want to support brick and mortar stores.
Yeah.
But you know, it's just going into his pocket to further work on the game.
Yeah.
You know, it's just kind of, it's awesome.
It all comes down to the same thing, and like, you know, sometimes like it's overrated and it's beaten to death, but like by supporting this game and supporting him, you're supporting him and his family and everything like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just some corporation.
Yeah.
Right?
It's not a soulless entity you're throwing money into a black hole of just corporate fat cats
Exactly.
lying in their pockets.
Yeah.
You know, you're giving it to Graham, one of my Facebook friends now.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if he accepted me. No, he probably did.
I looked. Only Foggy is a mutual friend.
Damn it. Call me back, Graham.
Yeah. Maybe just slip in his DMs or something like that, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll have to work on my charm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is awesome. Indie developer, because you know you're supporting it, and like he's like, not a month goes by where you don't get a newsletter that's saying, hey, this is coming out, releasing this. And now he's working on 2 games. My biggest concern was that he dropped Test of Honor and moved to this new one because there's only one dude.
Yeah.
But every time he's like, hey, this new stuff for 0200, the new game's coming out. But also, here's some, you know, Ashigaru fire starters. And I was like, damn, that's dope. So
he's balancing it very well.
Yeah.
Very well. Like, surely, like, of course, like, eventually, Test of Honor will sort of step back from the limelight.
How dare you?
While the new one steps in.
How dare you? Yeah, possibly.
It's going to happen, right? But, like, intentional or not, Test of Honor is always going to be there.
And it's already got the foundation. Like, if he stopped it now, I hope it doesn't.
No, he's not.
But if he stopped it now, there's enough there to play the game.
Yeah.
So many different miniatures and whatnot.
Yeah.
To like a base rule book and an expansion, all the extra stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
it would be. This is empty, and
Yes,
I don't have
it
my
is.
bell. Churchy,
That's a shame.
Would you be a lamb?
Would you like some beers then, lads?
Oh,
Yes,
I'd love a beer, man.
please,
Yeah.
Churchy.
Couple of Carlton Dries then.
Of course,
Of
sponsored.
course,
We
of course,
can't
of
drink
course.
competition beers.
Yeah, exactly. We got to earn that $12.
Got to spin that wheel somehow.
Yeah, it's not going to spin itself. Well, actually, that's its entire design. But anyways,
Yes. So
we talked about. What were you going to say?
No, you please.
Okay. We talked about just then the variety in the models.
Yes.
I think that's another amazing thing about the game is that you can literally buy anything off that store
And put it in an army.
and put it in an army.
You can.
You're not limited. There's no list building restrictions. Well, there
No.
is. It's one hero who can have up to 2 followers. Companions, sorry. Yeah, companions. You are
Yeah,
correct. And then the rest are followers. But
Thank you, Churchy.
thank you, Churchy. Yes. Oh, beautiful golden drops. Backwards,
done,
of course,
Churchy.
though. So
What? What did you do? They were right.
no, they were wrong, and now it rotates to the face. Anyways,
Sure.
YouTube homies know. You're welcome. Yeah. It's not like you can't take rebels with Ashigaru or with samurai.
Yeah, or
Buy
like this
whatever-
particular clan can't take Ashigaru spearmen. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
there's no limit. There's no stupid limitations like that.
Yeah. You build whatever the heck you want. Make
All
24 points out
All
of
the
it.
cool models that you like, you know,
Yeah.
like I like them. cool, that's a warband.
And you might be like, I just want to have spearmen. I want
Do
to
it.
have 23 spearmen and a
Fucking do
samurai.
it.
Fucking do it. A dare ya.
Do it.
A dare ya.
Double dog dare ya.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. The only thing I have heard on the reviews is that if you take like 20 bowmen, it's a little unfair. So I think a few people have house ruled like a limit on, but that's just whatever.
Yeah,
you find that out playing. No one wants. That's not a fun way to play.
Nah.
So
don't meta chase.
in this
Cheese
niche game,
list.
yeah, go
Yeah.
play 40k if you want to do that, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
Get a railgun.
Yeah, fun story. I ordered like 3 of those.
Of course you do.
There's a time and a place and test it on it, ain't it?
No, it is not it.
But yeah, that is very cool. You know, a lot of other games, it's like, I thought this was a. Oh, that really took me for 6 then. Yeah, a lot of other games are like that, where it's you just when you're first getting into it, you're like, oh, well, which faction do I buy?
Yeah,
And then the factions have sub factions, so it's like, well, which sub, you know?
It's like, oh man, absolutely. But the that's not a problem.
Nah, just
It
go
is not
buy
a
whatever the
problem.
heck you want.
Buy all the cool models. Buy one of everything.
I know I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally, yeah. Yeah, it's very cool. I do love that aspect of it. You just go in. If you see a new release,
Yeah.
you don't even have to think twice. You're like, is that going to fit in my list? Yes.
Yes.
When you buy it and paint it and put it in there, it fits in your list.
It fits.
And you're like, well, does that mean everything plays the same? No, because the expansion means you just pick your clan, and your clan has different proficiencies. So like, oh, I'm going to make all these the whatever clan. I was trying to think of the one you said earlier.
Takeda.
Sure. Even a clan of Ashigaru could be included and considered. I think there's a clan for the Iko Iki, which is like the religious rebels, or the peasants.
Yep.
But you could just say the local peasants had hired these Ashigaru with their last funds. They
They all
pulled together,
chipped
sold
in.
their rice,
Yep.
to defend them against this attack and blah, blah, blah. You
Yep.
know, make it work. So it's very cool in that aspect to have that freedom of just going,
It really
look
is.
cool, me buy, it
Yep.
work.
And essentially as wargamers, that's what we do.
Yeah.
We buy all the pretty things, all the cool things.
Yeah.
All the sweet ass looking things.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sweet ass.
Sweet ass. So-
Unfortunately, for a lot of other games, that's a trap because then you're like, well, now I have to buy a whole fucking army for it.
Yeah.
Whereas in
Yeah.
this, it's just like, sweet, just slots. Anyways,
Yeah. So
that's part of it.
talking about price.
Yeah.
Now, because we are down under, miles away from the
mainland.
motherland.
Yeah. Bloody old England. Is that what you mean? Is that the mainland?
Exactly. Yeah. Shipping's hard. Shipping, it's going to cost you like $50 minimum,
Yeah.
right? So you're going to make an order. You want to make sure your order's worth it.
Yeah, for sure.
We went in, a few other homies went in.
Yep.
And that was worth it, right?
It was.
Because
Big time.
shipping came down to like $5 each.
Yeah, that was good.
So easy, no worries. Surely if you're in America or the UK, it's probably different.
Yeah, they've got stockists over there,
Yeah.
which is the difference. We
Yeah.
don't, really. Which may change. I saw something else.
Okay.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's neither here nor there.
But price-wise, is generally pretty good. You
Yeah.
know, like $200 is going to get you the rules and a full army, full warband.
Yeah.
not
That's
bad.
it.
That's not
so
bad.
you get everything you need, tokens, dice,
Yep.
rules,
Yeah.
a full warband. You can play the game
Yep.
for under 200,
Yeah.
which for any other game,
It's like two models.
well,
2 boxes maybe.
2 boxes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually though, you know, that could be up to 10% of a 40k army,
Yep.
or try to think of other systems and what they cost. I
Well,
think,
bolt action,
yeah.
$75 will get you 30 US airborne.
Well, that's great, but how much of an army is that?
I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, that's great. You can get 30 tiny US airborne
Yeah.
in plastic.
Yeah.
And maybe that's, I don't know how much that is, so I can't
I got no
contribute.
idea.
But, you know, I mean, that seems on par for a lot of skirmish games. Actually, I'm remembering we did a breakdown of what full war games versus skirmish games cost. And I think most skirmishes came out to about 200 for
Yeah.
a thing.
Yeah.
So it's on par with everything else, but I would say
Yeah.
the models are just as beautiful. And when we talked about other skirmish games, we were just talking about the force, whereas this you get the rule book, the tokens, the
Yeah.
dice, everything you need.
Yeah. Yep.
So that, for some people, could be considered good. So,
Absolutely.
mm.
Yeah. So, price, yeah, pretty good.
Pretty good.
Shipping can be rough.
For us,
But-
for sure.
Yeah. The bad. What do you got for the bad?
Well, I mean,
They're
I
gonna
guess
diss on Testimony right now.
Let's diss on it. This is a diss track. Give me a beat, Churchy. Shipping's too high, and sometimes the rules are confusing, but no, they're not actually. That's a lie. I just went with the flow. Yeah.
It's awful.
That's awful. It was awful.
The Christmas rap was so good, and this is just awful.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm like Icarus. I flew too close to the sun, and now I have burned. Well, so the price is good, but the price is also bad. You mentioned shipping.
Yeah.
I think the accessibility of the game overall is its weakest element.
Yeah.
Its most difficult thing.
It's so niche, you know, like currently in Melbourne, if you were to go to a game store, or Victoria, I should say, I don't think you'd find anyone playing it yet.
I think that's correct.
Yeah.
I think when we initially got into it, there was a Testimony Australia group that had 20 members.
Yeah.
And we were 2 of them.
Yeah. So 18 members.
So 18 members.
Is that still a thing? I haven't even seen
I'll check it now.
Okay.
But I am curious, actually, how much it's grown over the last 2 years.
Sure.
But I mean,
I haven't seen any pop up, so I can't say as much.
Yeah,
but,
I wouldn't have known if we were still in it or
but
not.
like us getting into it, we've got homies that are into it. Like, you know, MJ, I'm sure MJ found us because of Testimony.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing is, it is a great game. It's just unheard of.
Yeah.
And so when someone does, if you were to discover it on your own, there's such a big hurdle
Yeah.
between taking that step of like, well, what do I buy?
You need 2 warbands.
Yeah.
And then you need to convince a friend
Yeah.
to play it.
So now it's more expensive, but you also
Yeah.
don't know what 2 warbands looks like.
Yeah.
You know, you don't know the rules or anything for it. When we first got in, there wasn't a PDF for the rules, but we actually hit up Graham and were like, hey, we're in Australia, we want to play this game,
Yeah.
but we don't want to buy a $30 rule book with $50 postage
Yeah.
to find out we don't like it, or then
Yeah.
to have to place an order of what we like. What do things cost? How much
Yeah.
points? What do I need? All
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so that there's so many different elements that make it inaccessible. That large shipping cost to buy directly from Grey for now.
Yeah. Straight up, that is sort of the killer, I think.
Yeah.
But like I said, you know, if you're splitting it with a couple of people, no worries. Like if you're paying $10 each, that's expected, right?
Yeah.
You know, so,
Finding people to play it, like you said, though, is
Yeah.
also another thing.
Yeah.
You're not just gonna. You need to be the driver.
Yeah.
Really.
You need to find friends and just sucker them in and be like, you guys are getting this, and you're chipping in. You're going
gonna like
harvies
it.
with me.
Yeah.
and you're gonna love it. Yeah.
And they will.
Yeah.
You know, if you can get just one more homie.
Yeah.
You know, grab the rule book between you. Maybe the Sengoku expansion, 2 war bands each.
Yep.
And just roll the dice. And then, with it, another problem is because the stock, being a stockist for it in Australia is so difficult. It's not like your local store is going to be like, hey, come in, play Test of Honor in my store.
Yeah.
If we like it, we'll stock it. Although it seems to be becoming more available.
Yep.
That's been an issue up to now.
Okay.
You know, you can't just, if we were to roll into Guff with our things in the hope that they would stock it and run tournaments and stuff,
Yeah.
it wasn't even an option to them,
No.
you know? So hopefully that changes. But yeah, it's just that accessibility and small community,
Yep.
lack of support and local, you know, that's probably the worst thing about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't look like the Australian group is even there. Oh no, it is. Test of Honor and Other Samurai Goodness, 46 members.
Oh, look out.
So we're booming.
Yeah. It's
We're absolutely
doubled.
yeah. I'm not going to say it's because of our battle report. Oh, Foggy shared our battle report in there.
Of course he did.
Yeah, thanks, Foggy. Appreciate that.
Champion.
That's awesome. Well, that's doubled. So who knows what it's
Yeah.
going to look like next year? Could be 100
Doubled
members.
again.
Yeah. Or thanks to you and driving it in your local scene and talking to your local person, maybe
Yeah.
becoming a stockist.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
And if you're into it, jump in our Discord. You can find links on hobbyhomies.com.
We've only got about 6 different channels for war games, and one
Yeah.
of them is specifically for Test of Honor.
Honor.
So that's
Yeah.
how much we froth it.
Hell yeah.
Would you say metal models, good or bad
Well,
in general?
look, before I worked with them, they were a deterrent.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
Sure.
I have only built mine very recently.
Yeah.
In fact, after our battle report, I sat down and just built everything.
Yeah.
I played with all your models.
Yeah.
Right. I was
Well-
like, I think I built like one unit, like primed half of that unit.
Yep.
And I was just like, I don't know, because I was umming and ahhing, and at that time I was wrestling with the whole like contrast paints, right? I'm like, do I just try and like one thick coat these?
Yep.
And then I opted out not to. But like after the battle report, I was just loving it and painted the first unit.
Yep.
Really? Yeah, over there.
Yeah.
Really appreciated working with metal.
Yeah.
You know, it was interesting. It was a good, different medium to work with. I don't like things just bend and then they stay bent, right?
Sure.
Plastic, they're a bit springy. They'll spring back into place.
Yep.
Nah.
Metal.
Like these samurai, these Ashigari have like flags on their back.
Yep.
That flag is sideways.
Sure.
And it ain't coming back.
Yeah.
Like,
and if you do, you risk,
you're bending it back.
Yeah.
And then it's like, how many times can I do that?
Yeah.
It's like, sooner or later it's going to break.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
The only thing I will say is that is a big difference I noticed on the footsore minis are so much more brittle.
Okay.
The parts are smaller.
Yep.
The grey for now flags, I'm confident, just wouldn't bend.
Yeah, right.
They would. You'd have to force them to bend.
Yep.
Again, so they're katanas and blades and whatnot. Yeah, they'll bend slightly, but you can just back in.
Yeah.
But like you said, a bit of the old left and right action on a metal model. But also dropping them means dropping a plastic model means it bounces a couple times and maybe a part you loosely glued snaps off and you glue it back on.
Yeah.
A metal model that's chipped paint and possibly a broken thing. That's
Yep.
It's a
And
bit
it
of a
hits the
nightmare.
ground and it like puts an indentation in the ground.
Yeah, exactly. And then you have to pay the
Cracks the
landowner.
tiles and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
to work with, fine, in a hobby aspect.
Yeah.
But to transport, play with.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm anxious about that. I'm anxious about playing games with them, and just
having them.
like ham-handing them, right?
Yeah.
Like just like going like, oh, there's my models, and like
Yeah.
I don't know, ripping flags and spears off and shit.
Yeah, if you pick a plastic model up by the flag, that's fine.
No worries.
It doesn't weigh anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you pick that up and it's like the atomic mass of it is just incredible, and it's like rips the flag out.
Rips your shoulder out of the socket. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Might as well throw them on the end of fishing lines and just, which you can get from Shaaz. Inside joke about Shane's side hustle of being a boating, camping, fishing store.
And anti-air supplies.
Yes, anti-air specifically. With these overstocked Wacky Web inflatable
We talked to shit before we record podcasts.
and all other times. And after.
And during. Yeah. So, metal miniatures, I don't know. You can chalk it up as a good or a bad thing.
Yeah, it depends on you.
I'm going to say 50-50.
Yeah.
Not bad, not good.
Yeah.
Not great.
I'd say 50-50, bad and good.
Okay. Sure.
And great.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Bad. What else is bad about this game?
Well, lack of resources, I suppose. We sort of covered that a little bit.
Yeah. There
the-
is, though. It is.
Like the if you want to know how to get into it,
Yeah.
you don't. Like
That's it.
Yeah.
And I didn't when I first looked into it.
I think that comes because it's a niche game, though. You
Exactly.
know, like
Yep.
more of that stuff, more YouTube videos, more like blogs and Reddit posts and Facebook groups and stuff is going to pop up.
Sure.
The more people get into it.
And I guess a lot of these games are like that and rely on the community to make up for it. Like if you think about getting into 40K, so it's just the game of wargaming.
It's just relatable.
Yeah.
Like, it's like it's par.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But if you were to show up to a
Yeah.
store, pretend you knew nothing,
Yeah.
like you're in the same boat. You're like, well, how do I get into it?
But then the way you would get into it would probably be that Games Workshop rep or local game store owner
Yeah,
will tell you how to get into it.
exactly.
So
you don't have that for Testimony.
No, you don't. Until it's on a shelf,
Yeah.
then you will.
Yeah.
But that all just comes with time, with
Yep.
growth. People like you watching this, obviously, if you're still here, you are into Test of Honor.
Or into us,
Or into us.
which is also good.
I'll take that.
I'll take that. Yeah.
So, yeah. It's it's a niche thing. It's
And that in itself comes with all of its best and worst parts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you gotta take the good with the bad.
yeah.
And I think all the bad things are things you would almost give up to keep it as a niche game. Not as a niche game. I'd love for it to blow up and everyone's playing Test of Honor, but you know, niche versus corporate sellout.
Yeah.
You know, you want it to stay true to itself.
Yeah.
And you would pay all the penalties that come with it being more niche, I suppose, or unsupported, you know. So
like, I honestly, you could walk into a game store and you could be like, hey, I play Test of Honor, and people will either only vaguely know what it is, or have no idea.
I've never met,
like, hey, it's that Japanese game.
Yeah, I've never met anyone outside of our podcast and Discord community.
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously the Test of Honor group.
Yeah.
That I went into a store where this guy sells nothing but like cool niche games. Like he stays away from the big tickets and he's just got such niche stuff. And I was like, oh man, I love Test of Honor. He's like, what's that? And so I explained it and he was like, is that like Bushido? I'm like, I mean,
yeah,
but it's Test of Honor.
I've heard that.
Yeah,
Bushido. Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely, but it's if you play it and you hobby it and you just commit to it.
Yeah.
Damn, you froth it, you know, because it's just a solid game.
Absolutely.
But we're talking about the bad. The last bad thing I could think about is that it's because it's so niche.
Yeah.
And because the theme is so unique, comparative to the rest of wargaming, is that it's quite standalone.
Yes. So like your terrain is for Test of Honor.
Exactly.
It's not really for anything else.
Correct.
Your models, you can't use them anywhere else.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you could like convince yourself they work in a fantasy setting or whatever, but it's likely if you've got War Surge, you could do that as well. But if you've got feudal Japanese stuff, it's likely that it's for that specific game.
Yep.
You bring it out, you play Test of Honor, you pack it away. It's not like a generic sci-fi mini that you can use in most miniature agnostic games.
Yeah.
You know? So if you've got it, you're just probably playing that with it, if that makes sense.
But honestly, I think if you've got it, you love that game. So like,
yeah, exactly.
You're playing Test of Honor.
That particular bad thing has never been an issue.
No.
Sometimes I will paint a Test of Honor mini and I'll be like, that's great because Test of Honor is like 50% of my gaming.
Yeah. But if you're not playing Test of Honor, you're not using that miniature.
If it's only 20% of your gaming, then you're like, you know, you could paint a sci-fi thing and be like, oh, I can use this in Warcry, or not sci-fi, sorry, fantasy. Could be like Warcry, 5 Leagues, you know.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like a Games Workshop one where they've got like Underworlds,
Yeah.
Warcry, Age of Sigma. Then you go into the agnostic ones where it's 5 Leagues, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, this is different. So that's one negative for some people, I guess. It's a small one, but
I think it's you could like, I mean, to me that's not even a blip on the radar. Like I wouldn't even be phased about that.
No.
Like that's how I treat most miniatures anyway. I paint anyway. Like I'm always painting them for like one particular thing. And like sure, maybe that's why like I just don't finish any projects, right? Like I get halfway through every single thing I ever do.
Yeah.
I never actually finish it.
You're pretty close to the GSC, the Gene Steel Cults.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
Like,
pretty close.
Not quite.
Pretty
but
close.
yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a blip for me as well. Although when I'm building sci-fi terrain, it does go through my mind how diverse I can use this stuff in. Whereas
terrain works like that though, I think.
Yeah.
You know.
When I build like a little Japanese temple though, I'm like, this is just for Test of Honor.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, yeah.
So but yeah, apart from that, it really is a blip. Because then I'm like, oh yeah, but that's fine because I've frothed Test of Honor.
Yeah.
So probably use it as much as I will that generic sci-fi terrain.
Yeah. Well, that's our journey into Test of Honor.
Yeah. So
I got a feeling it ain't going anywhere.
No.
You know, the journey has come to an end, but we're still going to be putting out Test of Honor content like you wouldn't believe.
Maybe even more so.
Yeah.
You probably get more. I don't want to make promises because we trap ourselves with that. But I wouldn't be surprised if you got more Test of Honor content in the next 6 months than you did in the last 2 years.
Well, I mean, you could easily say in the last year because we did nothing.
Yeah, no, that would be the safe bet. That's what I said 2 years. I was like, don't cop out, Fox. Don't cop out. Although they're used to it, don't cop out. So give me just like your favorite thing about Test of Honor. When you think Test of Honor, what's you like? I like it because...
I like it because of the gameplay.
Yeah.
By that, I mean drawing a token, doing this, my turn's done.
Yeah.
You draw a token, oh wait, you can't use any of those tokens, it's my turn again.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like just like cool things like that.
Yeah.
Like, so like, and the fate tokens, like you could be like, oh, if I don't activate my samurai now, fate token, like shit. I can't do anything.
I got a skill card. Oh wait, that's actually good. Maybe I want
yeah. Or the turn's over.
Yeah.
And like half everything's done nothing.
Yeah.
You know, like yeah. There's like just little things like that. I love. Like it's not just your turn, my turn.
Yeah.
Your turn, my turn. Like it's just so boring. Like I think a game that doesn't have alternating activations now is going to get left behind. Like
certainly in the skirmish environment for sure. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
I would agree. I think that's my favorite part as well. Although I like the theme and I love everything. That's what got me into it.
Yeah.
But when we first played that game and we went, and I almost went, oh no, you know, alternate activation. I draw a thing, we fight. The fight's pretty simple. The unit stats are pretty simple and across the board. Yeah. But then it was like, oh wait, no, positioning's important. And then it was like, okay, no wait, you drew a fate token which gives you a skill thing. Oh, that's cool. Now I equip that to my dude and I choose to activate that later. It's hidden. Yeah. But I've also got this quest as well. Oh, and now I'm cutting you down. You don't have a void token. Yeah. So now I choose if I act honorably or dishonorably. Yeah. And then they threw the expansion in there, and it's like, oh, now I get proficiencies. And it was just like a game that felt so simple, and my fear was that it was going to be shallow. But then you play it, and it ends up being so mechanically deep. Yeah. It's just a pleasant surprise.
Out of 10?
Oh, this was tough for me.
It's hard to put a number on it.
This was tough because my initial thought is I froth this game. Yeah. 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I can't just go give it a 10 out of 10. Maybe it's a 9.5 out of 10. But then I'm like, well, why haven't I played it every single time we catch up? Yeah. Because of the accessibility. Like, that plays a factor. Yeah. When I sit down and I go, I can play a game with so-and-so. I think if every single person played Test of Honor, just like they do, let's say it's a popular as Warmer Hordes or Infinity or those other more niche games. Yeah. Then to me, it is a 9.5.
Okay. That's granted you can play it as often as you like.
Yeah, correct. And I think the accessibility gives it a bit of a hit, and I'm trapped. Like, it's like, play against Shane or don't play.
Yeah, so you think playing against me lowers the score
significantly? Significantly.
Yeah, nah, but I'm hearing you. Hearing you. I know what you mean. Like, because you can't play it as much as you want to.
But should I drop a point on the game itself for that?
Probably not. No,
you know, that's
not the game's fault.
Correct. It's not their fault. Yeah, the game is great. Yeah. But I'm rating the game itself and every aspect of it.
Of course, which also affects how often you play and how you feel when you play it. Like, obviously, you love it when you play it, but when you
if you can't play it because of it, yeah. So I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
That's where I'm rocking it.
Solid.
I froth this game.
Solid.
Every bad point we wrote, even accessibility, is just a second fiddle to my... Yeah. I'm just like, $50 for postage? I don't care. I'll buy 3 dudes. I'll spend $80. I spent $80 on 3 Marines. Why not do it for a game that, you know, I'm so excited about? So, it's a 9 out of 10 for me. It's my favorite game I've ever played.
Nice.
Go, Shane.
Man, look, I froth it too. It's so hard to put a number to it because, like, you also need a sense of scale, right? So it's like, sure, like, 9 out of 10, but, like, where do you rate everything else? So it's like, for me, I'm going to say 8.7.
That's just basically a 9 out of 10.
It's not 8.5.
So you're saying
it's not 9.
Are you saying there's no game in your mind that you've played that's better than Test of Honor?
That I've played? No.
I agree.
Yeah.
And that's how that's how the scale goes for me.
I'm gonna go to what my old woodworking teachers say. Nothing's 100%.
Mr. Trotter. Was it?
Yeah.
Nothing's
100%, right? So it doesn't matter how good it is, it's never 100% because it can never tick every box. Like,
for sure.
Sure, you might think it's ticked a box, but then you're like, oh, hang on a minute. Well, it doesn't really do this, doesn't really do that.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't really been into the whole, like, Japanese theme, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love it. Absolutely love it. Like, the tables are gorgeous. I mean, it's just gorgeous. But, like, you know, I'm not a diehard, like, Japanese, like, enthusiast, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Like, so I love all that, but it's not a deal. Like, it's like not sealing the deal. You know what I mean? So
the game doesn't sell itself on the merit of its theme to you.
No, it needs to be enjoyable. It needs to have good gameplay. Like, some people can like hate the game, but they love the lore, or they love the miniatures enough, you know.
Yeah.
So like, but like, it's absolutely above, like if you break it up into different categories.
Yeah.
Everything is like an A. You know, it's not an A plus.
Yeah.
It's a solid like A or like B plus. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Wait, you're saying Test of Honor is a B plus, solid A, B plus?
No.
Oh, okay. You're saying everything else is?
It's an A. I'm gonna give it an A.
Oh, it's an A.
It's an A out of 10.
It's an A out of 10.
Yeah. I changed the grade.
It's an S out of. It's an S out of Tuesday.
Stop me. Okay.
Yeah, it's my podcast. Do what the fuck I want. These are my ratings. You don't know me.
I make my own rules too.
Not for Test of Honor, because the rules are so concise and rewarding.
You don't need to make your own rules. You don't need to.
Graham's done it for you. And a bang up job.
So I mean, you know, we've derailed here, but
Always.
like of course, it wouldn't be Hobby Hammers if we didn't at some point.
Yeah.
But we've rocked this game. We love it.
That's
It's not gone on the back burner. We're not, you
No.
know, just because this journey into is over, we're into it.
That's
we're
it.
deep into it.
Yeah, we always said, even from our first Journey Into episode, we said at the end of it, we'll rate the game
Yeah.
and let you know if it's on the bench, you know, or if it's probably one of our main rotations. It's safe to say this was probably going to be our most played game
I think so.
for a long time.
Honestly, I never imagined you've just smeared that everywhere.
Deliberately.
I never imagined getting to the end of a Journey Into.
Nah, me neither. The podcast would be done a year ago.
True. Or it's 2030 and we're like, Journey Into 47.
yeah, for
Testimony.
sure. I think, like, you know, we talk about Parsecs and 40K and tournaments and the Hobby Corner and all this other stuff. And Test of Honor will just be another one of those episodes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's not a journey into it, it's just us talking about some shit we love.
Yeah.
So it's just going to become one of those, you know?
Yeah.
And that way, if we never talk about it again, no harm, no foul. But we will.
We will.
We absolutely
We've got
will.
big plans. So, yeah. Thank you all for hanging around. We hope you have enjoyed our journey and, you know, some of you have followed along with us.
A lot of
in
you.
this journey.
Yeah. And if you're just hearing about it, like Shane mentioned early, jump in the Discord, Test of Honor channel. We've got a heap of people in there that play or have the minis or are just getting into it. In fact, we have a group order happening soon because people are just like, well, we froth it. They saw the battle report. They're like, okay, I need to get some.
Yeah.
Jump on in there, ask any questions. Yes, for everyone else, there's a barrier to getting into this game.
Yeah.
Not for you.
No.
You have our help, and we know some shit. So.
Of course, as long as you're Australian based.
Yeah, well, we can't help you order, but we can help you tell you what to order.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
Everything.
A lamp.
One of everything.
One of everything.
You mentioned the lamp.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Thank you so much
Thank you.
for your continued support to everyone listening.
Yeah, of course. And also our patrons. We wouldn't be here, wouldn't be doing as much as we do without you.
Yep.
And, you know, like we have other supporters as well, not people just on Patreon. Like, we've got homies who buy merch.
Yeah.
Homies who like and comment and interact with every single thing we put on. You know, we're always feeding the algorithm.
Yeah.
It's a beast that hungers.
It's a cruel bitch.
Every like and comment feeds it.
Correct.
and helps us grow as a podcast.
It's like a little plant. And
little plant. I imagine it as like this big, like brooding presence, like a shadow.
You're thinking of like
mind.
what's a Lovecraftian creature of some sort
pretty
with
much.
some
Or like the
existential
grave
threat.
mind from Halo, the Flood. You know, the leader of all the Flood.
Hey, I've just noticed we're all wearing stuff from our merch lineup.
Churchy's
Churchy,
not.
get on thing.
Oh, wait,
And
he
we-
is.
Yeah. So cop the merch. We've got.
That's just a generic black tee.
I forget what this is called. I don't know what this one's called. This is the alternate tee.
Alternate tee, yep. Churchy is rocking the stock, of the original, the OG.
The straight homie hoodie.
Straight homie hoodie.
Not
and-
straight as in your orientation, but
No,
straight homie as in
straight
like
homie, as in like
straight
fair
homie.
income homie.
Yeah.
Yep.
But also, I think Churchy's straight, but
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see.
Find out later.
And you've got
And I've got the beers and banter.
and the hobby homies.
And the homie homies hat. Wow.
Hat. Yeah,
I'm-
you decked out. This is we don't
God.
plan this. We don't choose to wear this for the podcast. I wear whatever the heck I
I wear
want.
this hat like all the time, and then I'm like, I haven't worn a t-shirt for a while.
Yeah, he's been butt naked this whole time, but he had company, so here we are. You're the company. Thank you, patrons, as well.
Of course, massive shout out to Burnsy, Whack, Final Dinosaur, Joey P, Lockie, Lethal, MJ, sorry, Moose, Penny, and Gridlock.
Thank you, Elko. Churchy, for your sweet support on buying our merch.
Of course.
Hobbyhomies.com, click the merch button. We got Rad Rooster, Ollie, Hockers, Aggro, Foggy, Adrian, and Big Roach.
Big Roach.
Thank you, and thank you to all our new patrons who we shouted out on last episode. It's crazy. It's going up. You guys, what are you doing? What are you doing? Give your money to us. Yeah. No, do, please. We appreciate it so much.
It helps us make all this cool shit.
Yeah. And
I mean, we think it's cool.
So much. Yeah, we think it's cool. And you must too.
Yeah.
So we appreciate that. We can't thank you enough. We never will be able to, but we'll shout you out as often as we can.
Absolutely.
Please jump in the Discord, get your Discord role. And
big early access to videos.
Yeah.
And other content.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Absolutely.
Most of the time.
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah, the Discord's the place to be. We've got hobby hangouts every Tuesday. In fact, there's probably one right now.
There probably is one right now, which we are missing out on.
Let's have a little sussy-wussy just quickly.
Me and Ollie have been in there every Wednesday doing like a little RPG
Burnsy,
thing.
Gritty, Moose, Ollie, all in the hobby hangouts.
All people you'd rather be with than me and Churchy.
Absolutely. Should I jump in there? No, I said I'm not doing anything. You feel free to... Hey guys, how you doing?
Good afternoon.
I would just like to let you know you're featuring on a podcast episode. We're live in the studio right now.
Okay, I'm glad we know that.
Just
That actually can't be true because Fox is actually speaking to me, and we both know that he's always.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Who's this?
Oh no, go ahead.
Love you, lads. See you later. We're going to close the episode out now. See ya.
Okay. Bye.
Yes, you can be a part of that too.
That could be you.
Why would you want to? I don't know. But please. Cool. All right. Thanks for joining us. We will see you guys in the next one.
Cheers, homies.
Hooroo.
Peace.
Woo! Big up to the boys, Fox and Shane. Set your minds free, no locks and chains. Do what you love, roll the dice. 50-50, we cold as ice.